From the Paul McCartney song, Blackbird. Blackbird sing in the dead of night, these broken wings, and learn to fly. All your life, you are only waiting for this moment to arise. Many of you asked about my song. Here's the next verse coming to you now.
Let's make it easy. Let's keep it clean. No one's gnawing off an arm to live that dream. Finding the house? Man, that's the hard part. Now it's time to finish, but let's play it smart. W-2s? We need two. A pay stub? We need that too. 2 bank statements? We're good with you. Got a side hustle? That's all right. 2 years taxes and we're flying high with you. Let me handle the stress. You rest and breathe. Mortgage magic? Yep. Call me, Steve. Let's get you home. Let's build that wealth. Turn your life around and stack that shelf.
Hey guys, it's your favorite mortgage guy, Steve, here with another edition of our segment. It is Friday. Can you believe it's the last Friday in June? I know I say that every month, but here we are. July 1st is right around the corner. It'll be Tuesday. So listen, let me just start with your question. This has been an interesting week with questions. A lot of it has surrounded politics. And guys, let me just say this. So I try not to talk about politics on here. And the reason why is I'm a mortgage guy. I'm not a politician. I'm not an economist. So a lot of the information I just kind of have to regurgitate to you, maybe put a different spin on it. But let me just talk about politics this week. So I received a ton of questions Monday about what I thought the bombing of Iran, how that was going to impact interest rates. Well, I thought it was going to impact gas prices more than interest rates, and that did not happen. But, back to watching the news, if you look at the headlines, a lot of these news outlets weren't talking about the great job that they did obliterating this thing. They wanted to talk about some of the other stuff that had nothing to do with the bombing. And so I don't play into that stuff. That's why I keep on telling you, do not read the headline. Do not listen to the news story. I don't even watch the mainstream news anymore because it is so bogus. I mean, all of it is. So there's an example. Read the story, not the headline. And here's another one that came up. Like the other day, this guy, Zoran, who is apparently a mayoral candidate for New York City, and all over the headlines is the real estate economy in New York is going to crash because this guy's a socialist. Now, let me ask you a question, because I know all of you are smart out there. Do you really think that the mayor of New York has the capacity to make an entire city of 8.5 million people, their real estate collapse? Of course not. This guy doesn't have enough financial wealth. And the problem is you have all these rights, real estate investment trusts that own most of the real estate. So again, there's the headline trying to bash this dude. I don't know him. They say he's a socialist and capitalism is what runs the country. I don't know. Don't know the guy. Don't care. I don't live in New York. But my point is, don't read the headline. Read the story. That'll tell you more information. Okay, enough about politics. I really don't like talking about that. Is inventory rising? Yes, inventory is coming on the market, but it is typical this time of year because people have their kids out of school. They've already gone on vacation and they want to move. So yes, we're starting to see a rise in inventory. Should I refinance? Absolutely, call me. Let's get you into the pipeline. It is starting to become super busy with rates trending in a downward position right now, especially if the Federal Reserve does something in July, which now it looks like that might be expected. So should I refinance? Absolutely. Let's get you in the pipeline. You don't have to lock, but let's get you going because you want to get in there so that the appraisers are busy, the closing agents are busy, and you want to get your loan closed, and you can skip a payment or two. Okay, should I take money from a 401 or a stock fund for down payment? You got to call me on that. That's a personal decision. You don't want to create yourself a taxable event because that's not cheap. Okay, so, and for some reason, I think I'm catching some sort of a summer cold, which is crazy. So can you believe it's the last week of June? As I just mentioned, July 1st will be here on Tuesday, and it comes with fresh market data. And as I mentioned, potentially Fed movement. Now, there's lots of opportunity in the housing market right now. And especially if the Fed moves, what's going to happen is rates may come down a little bit more, but you might see prices go up on the inventory because the bidding wars may start. So the good news, rates remain stable and continue to trend downward right now. And despite the noise in the headlines, the underlying data is encouraging. So for example, excuse me, financial highlights this week. Let's talk about that. Consumer confidence remains strong, unlike about 30 days ago where it was not strong. Jobless claims remaining steady. We'll know the truth here in a couple weeks. The bond market is calm. It's helping keeping rates in check. That's the important factor. Now, meanwhile, the housing market, it's definitely heating up and buyers are re-engaging. Yeah, they went on the back sidelines for a couple weeks there while their kids graduated, wherever they graduated from. Homes are moving quicker now than they were in the last couple of weeks. And the burning question that I get all the time is, hey, Steve, when is the best time to buy a house? Well, here's my answer. When you're ready, both financially and personally. The problem is this. The longer you wait, the more equity you're giving away. You build equity by owning, not by waiting and chasing the perfect market, because oftentimes you miss out. You'd be shocked at how many people say, I'm going to wait till rates come down. Okay, but the price that you're going to pay right now and the payments you're going to pay right now for that same exact house, if it goes up $10,000 or $20,000 and you get the low rate, is going to be the same exact payment, but you lost $20,000 in equity. So when is the perfect time? Only you know that. So remember, I need to reiterate this. Read the full story if you see something on the headlines here. Now, the last question I get, and I'm only throwing these questions in at the end because they're pretty consistent. The headline says the rates are this. Well, remember, guys, those are national averages based upon Treasury bills. They're not mortgage rates. If you don't see something that's got an exact decimal, which is typically in eighths, so for example, 6.125, which is 6 and an eighth, 6.25, which is 6 and a quarter, 6.375, which is 6 and 3/8, 6.5, which is 6 and a half, 6.625, 6 and 5/8, and so on. Those are national averages, and it doesn't impact mortgage interest rates that lenders are quoting. And as an example, and I know this person is watching, they tried to tell me that rates were down to 6 and an eighth. And I said, you know they're not that low. Why do you think we'd have them that low? They were national averages, which includes adjustable rate mortgages and everything else in the mix. So remember, read the story, not the headline. The media hype wants to give you uncertainty, but the data that shows the strengths and the opportunities for you. So listen, if you're thinking about making a move, guys, like I said, it's not been as busy as I'd like it to be a little busier. Call your favorite mortgage guy. Look along the sides underneath here. Go ahead and like all my stuff. You're getting the second version of my song here. So I'm your favorite mortgage guy. I'm Steve. Hope you have a phenomenal weekend. I hear it's supposed to cool off. It's been a pretty oppressive week this past week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye now.
Mortgage magic? Yep. Call me, Steve. Let's get you home. Let's build that wealth. Turn your life around and stack that shelf.